virtualized mode, we can't physically feel the appearance of the virtual machine. So that is what virtual means, not physically existing. Okay, that will be imaginarily existing in a cloud architecture. Virtualization means creation of virtual versions of something. So virtual version in the sense, so previously they will be maintaining the data in the cloud environment. Okay, so if you want to create the application beyond that, you have to configure it. So all will be supporting in your virtualization concept. So the main concept behind the virtualization is hypervisor. So hypervisor in the sense, it is a program for creating and running multiple virtual machines. So virtual machine in the sense, so which is existing on the top of the existing operating system. So existing operating system in the sense, host operating system. So that will be available in your physical or base hardware. Above that you will be having the hypervisor. So beyond that you will be developing the guest operating system which is available in virtual machines. Okay. So that work will be done by the hypervisor. Then hypervisor are used to control and monitor the process. So management process will be done by the hypervisor for processors, memory and other hardware resources. All will be supported using this hypervisor. Virtualization concept works. Okay. So virtualization in cloud computing is the process in which user can share the data which is present in the cloud. So cloud storage is nothing but storing all the necessary resources for developing your application. Okay. So multiple users can able to share the resources from the cloud access with the help of the virtualization concept. Then they will be providing the virtualized environment. If you are going to work with the virtualization concept in your cloud computing, you should have the virtual environment such as virtual hardware and virtual software. So these two are the resources which is required for making the environment to be virtual. So next is hypervisor. So as already seen, hypervisor is nothing but a software which is capable of managing and controlling all the process in your cloud environment. They will be creating and maintaining the virtual machine. So this is the main task carried out by your hypervisor. And it also provides the connectivity between the server and your virtual environment. Okay. So this is the main task carried out by the hypervisor. Then it distributes the resources between different virtual environments, because in a virtual environment you will be having multiple VM available. Okay. So individual VM will be allocated with different resources. It was maintained and controlled with the help of the hypervisor which is available in your virtualized environment. Then popular hypervisor, they have listed out few examples which is using the hypervisor concept. They are VMware, vSphere, which is based on ESXi, and Microsoft Hyper-V. So these are the examples of the hypervisor concept. Next is how the hypervisor is going to work. Okay. So hypervisor is nothing but a layer which exists between the operating system and the physical hardware. Okay. And it also provides the necessary services and features for smooth running of the operation. Okay. So this is the hypervisor architecture. So from the base we will be having the hardware. So this is the physical hardware. Above that we will be having the host operating system which is supporting this hardware. Above that we will be having the hypervisor layer. Okay. So beyond that we will be developing individual VM. This is one individual VM. This is the other one. Like that you can have n number of VM. Okay, associated with this hypervisor. So in that particular VM you will be having a container. Inside that you will be having the necessary resources which is required for developing the application. So that the operating system and the application. So for individual VM you will be having their own resources. They won't be sharing unless otherwise there is any necessity for transfer of resources. Okay. So here this hypervisor is controlling all the individual VM which is available. Each having different operating systems. Okay. So from the base you can have the Windows operating system, but it is not necessary to have the same operating system in all your VM. This one same as the previous, how the hypervisor is going to run. So we have explained in the horizontal panel. Okay. So here this same support multiple guests. So multiple guests in the sense multiple guest operating system. So in the previous diagram we have seen that the single hypervisor which is supporting multiple VM and all the VM will be having individual operating system associated with that. So here they will be supporting the multiple guest VM by virtually sharing of resources such as memory and processing. So these are the resources they are going to use it for developing an application, and all those things will be supported in hypervisor. So why we are going to use this hypervisor? What is the reason behind that? Because it reduces the space, maintain requirement and energy. So energy in the sense IT resource utilization. Okay, as well as the staff you are going to recruit for doing the particular job, everything is getting reduced once you are going to introduce this hypervisor concept in your virtualization environment. Okay, so this is the base diagram. So previously we have the, in previous diagram also you will be having the same hardware, then host operating system, but here we are going to use the hypervisor concept and it will be maintaining all individual VMs. So these are the individual VMs. So this hypervisor is capable of managing all the VM. So individual VM will be having different operating system associated with that. All will be maintained by a single hypervisor. Okay, so you can able to easily create and manage the hypervisor concept. Okay. So next is few benefits regarding the virtualization concept. So first point is it is more flexible. So you can able to use it for n number of application. It can be either small scale or large scale related application. All will be supported in your virtualization concept. Next, it can lower the cost of IT infrastructure because we are not going to individually install or implement hardware or software in all the system. We are going to manage it from the centralized resources so that you are reducing the IT cost as well as hardware and software installation cost. Next is remote access. Remote access in the sense you can able to access from anywhere or from any location or from any device. So that is the remote access. Next is on-demand pay as you go. So on-demand is based on the customer need. They will be requesting for the resources to the cloud providers. Okay. So based on their usage, they will be asking for the amount and they have to pay till their license get expired. Okay. So till that they can able to access the resources which is provided by the cloud provider. Next is enable running multiple operating systems. So that you are going to implement the hypervisor, multiple OS can be executed parallelly, sharing from the base host operating system. So next is, in continuation with the virtualization, you have the other type, that is hardware virtualization. There are three types in hardware virtualization: full virtualization, para virtualization and partial virtualization. So before going to that, we will see small introduction about the hardware virtualization. So hardware virtualization is nothing but when the VMware is directly installed on the hardware, this hardware virtualization takes the role. Okay. So VMM is nothing but virtual machine manager which is available there in your hypervisor. Okay. So only with the help of hypervisor you can able to manage and control all the processing virtualized environment. So this is directly installed on your hardware. When you are referring to the previous diagram, this hardware is connected to the hypervisor and above that you will be having the VMM. So that this hypervisor plays an important role here. So we are going to directly integrate with the hardware so that this VMM plays an important role. Then after hardware virtualization, the user can install different operating systems. So only after the hypervisor you can able to install different operating system because in your host operating system only one OS can be supported there. So other VM if they are sharing it, same OS they can able to use it. Other OS is not supported unless otherwise if you are implementing the hypervisor concept. Next, where the hardware virtualization concept is used. So here for server platforms. Server platforms for controlling the VM is easy as compared to the physical machine. So for that purpose